Well, hello and welcome to another Daily Dominion. It's Sunday, so we have some campaign features cropping up. And in this one, we have a stamp on Wharf with the Chameleonized stamp and a twist called Pennies Saved. And now let's discuss those very briefly. Chameleonized is essentially what Way of the Chameleon does to a card. It turns any plus money in or plus coin into plus cards and vice versa. Although there is a difference in that, for example, with these duration cards, Wharf is a duration card, and Way of the Chameleon usually only affects things this turn. So you play a Wharf as Way of the Chameleon, you get 2 money and a buy, and next turn you draw 2 cards anyways. Here, the Chameleonized, I believe, should just be that, well, you get 2 money and a buy for both of the turns. Now, apart from that, we have Pennies Saved, and Pennies Saved is a twist that says at the end of your buy phase, you convert your money to coffers. And I'm kind of scared of this one. Well, first of all, because AI tends to play it quite well, but also because it tends to crash your game. It is one of those twists that where for whatever reason, I think especially when interacting with debt, and there are some debt cards here, it crashes your game and the game might not be recoverable. So let's hope that doesn't happen and let's give this one a go. Now, if you want to see the full kingdom, you can do so here. We have a few knight cards in Guardian and Ghost Town. We have lots of duration cards, 6 of them actually, in Monkey, Outpost, Wharf, Guardian, Haven, and Ghost Town. And yeah, I don't know. Looking at this kingdom, on first glance, it looks like okay, you could build an engine with Wharf and villages, but of course, Wharf is not the draw card you want here. It's essentially the merchant ship with the plus buy slapped onto it, which according to Donald X would have made it too strong back in the day when Seaside came out. So Wharf got the plus buy to compare favorably with it. So let's see how this one plays out. Now, apart from that, the only draw really here is Monkey. And Monkey is not great draw if you don't expect your opponent to gain many cards. Now, you could say, okay, here there is strong stuff going on, so your opponent might gain a lot of cards. But with Penny Saved, they can just opt to essentially save all of their money until a very explosive last turn, which would mean that your monkeys won't draw you that much, and thus I would say this pretty much plays like a drawless kingdom. The only sort of draw might be the outpost. Now my well wait, I forgot to generate the kingdom. That was the kingdom plot of yesterday. Just a second, I will pause the video here. And there we go. And I have generated the correct kingdom plot. And as I said, this kingdom plot does say, oh yeah, there's a lot of draw here because it doesn't factor in that Wharf is chameleonized and thus unable to draw anything. And thus, this essentially plays as a no thinning, no draw kingdom, which means that it's going to be super junky. And yeah, what to do here is the question. Now, I think with Penny Safe, first of all, the opening is rather flexible. Actually, 2-5 is the opening with the least flexibility. As on a, for example, 3-4, you can just opt to not buy a 3 cost card, but just transfer one of your money is over as coffers. And yeah, what one could do here is just go for I don't know actually. Someone on a Discord posted a strategy involving Outpost and a few goals and then nothing but province. And I think that's unfortunately not too bad here to just get through everything. Outpost essentially is a plus 3 cards thingy, like a smithy. and thus, I don't know, maybe you weave in a wharf or two, but this simplistic strategy might really work out because, well, there's not that much else to do here. Because of the absence of thinning and proper draw, you cannot rely on that much. You can essentially build up a huge chunk of coffers with pennies saved, and then play a bunch of wharfs and bazaars somehow, and have a bunch of buys and buy a few provinces. But even to line that up is not that easy. I guess Ghost Town also helps you line up wharfs in case of probable terminal collision. But yeah, um, I'm not too opposed to the idea of this maybe 2 or 3 golds and an outpost and then just hammer in provinces. Because a problem about money strategies usually is that you really want to not hit 7, because if you hit 7, then it's really bad because you miss out on buying a province. Here, if you hit 7, well, you just don't buy a card and save the 7 coffers for the next turns and should be fine. So, yeah, I think we're going for this super simplistic strategy. I think I can also see a wharf woven in there properly. It's essentially like 4 money and 2 buys. Oh, stretched out over 2 turns, not really not too bad. But if we're going for Outpost as a plus 3 cards, then we might not want the collision with the wharfs. I don't know. Let's see how thick our deck will get. So I would say we play this. Oh, by the way, I didn't prepare any opening hints for this one because, well, with Penny Save, you're free to go for whatever, and I think this just gold on turn 2 does look quite nice. So we end our buys here. Let's really hope the game does not crash. AI goes for this Guardian, which is just a junk card, which I don't really understand. Also note that Capitalism doesn't do anything here except for allowing you to play Bazaars in your buy phase, but why would you want to do that? Wharf being Chameleonized, giving money, giving coins. It doesn't actually say the plus coins on it, so yeah, it doesn't matter. So now let's go for this gold. Do we want to go for just another gold or already an outpost or a wharf? Next turn, if we don't miss the gold, then we'll have 5 or 6 monies. Hmm. I think I like just stacking up some coffers here. We even do hit the gold naturally here. And there the game crashed. Well, you cannot see it because the assertion failed cost part that is 0 is not shown. I can, however, quickly screenshot it just so you can see it. And somehow let me set it up very quick. All right, I've taken a screenshot. You can see the message here. The game is frozen, and if I press OK, I can probably try to restart it, but maybe the game will just crash upon, crash upon the reinitialization. I cannot do anything. Hmm. I don't know whether there's a way to restart the daily actually. Um, what we can do? No. I think it's not recoverable. And yeah, what we can do is we can set up a custom campaign kingdom, like in the video where I showed you this, but also there it could crash. So, but I think it's still worth it. Let me just very quickly do this. All right, so while the video was paused, I set up the, the Rising Sun campaign level 8 to contain essentially the Daily Kingdom. Um, oh no, something went wrong with Wharf. Wait a sec. And there we go. Sorry for this very choppy video, probably. Wharf didn't have Chameleonized, as internally, for whatever reason, the Chameleonized stamp is called Chameleonize without the D in the end. Anyways, this is now properly set up. We have the 5-2. Again, I don't think it matters here. I just want to showcase playing through this daily, and yeah, this is not the daily. Um, this is just a random campaign kingdom set up to reflect the daily. And let's hope we get through it without any hiccups. Here, let's go for an outpost. I think this should be quite good, and we will slowly accumulate the monies now to pick up provinces. And yeah, I wonder whether Wharf is worth it, but in principle also the outpost functions as a plus buy, so yeah, we are pretty fine here just picking up provinces. Actually here, because we only have 4 cards in our in this pile, I think it's better to not get the province yet. Oh no, I was going to say to not put the province into the shuffle, but since with Outpost we will only draw 3 cards anyways, it doesn't matter. We might as well end our buys here and go for just the next province. And yeah, I think you get the gist. This strategy is working rather well. We are at 3 provinces, I think 4 provinces by turn 9 or turn 10. And yeah, this outpost gets to clear away this awful hand, and with that we can smooth out further money. And it's of course not great that this outpost missed the shuffle there, but maybe I should have thought about it a bit harder whether it was actually worth it for us to play the outpost there. But yeah, AI's Bazaar Wharf strategy does not yield any good results there. Um, just because, well, the Wharfs don't draw anything. Wharfs usually are so strong because they do draw at the beginning of this, or when you play them this turn, and at the beginning of your next turn. And here they just don't draw that much. Now I can go for as many duchies as it wants to. Its deck is going to deteriorate rapidly as well. We can pick up the 7th province, I believe, here, and that really seals the deal. So yeah, the game might go on for a few more turns just because we need to um, take our time closing it out. But no, actually this outpost, yeah, cruises us to victory. And yeah, we have eight provinces actually in 16 turns. Is kind of disgusting. Unfortunately, this will not show up in my proper daily record because the real daily game has crashed. But at least we got to play it through, and I got to showcase how this strategy worked out. Quite fun, I think. I like the 3rd gold. I like skipping Wharf in the end, even though it didn't sound all too bad. But yeah, really weird kingdom, to be honest. And if you want to learn how to set up your campaigns in a way that they have those campaign features and the kingdoms you desire to play, check out my video on this. But yeah, I don't know. That's it, I think. And the actual game playthrough, I think it was just 4 minutes or so where the actual game started. That we indeed finished in the end. So yeah, rather fast kingdom, fast to play through. I wish you the best to not encounter the bug. And we'll try to catch you in the next one. And until then, goodbye.